If you stayed behind, you are on your own. Officials in Glen County near Brunswick just released a statement saying emergency services will not resume until the weather improves.
And meanwhile, tropical storm force winds are picking up, and that's where we find Fox 5's Claire Sims in Glen County.
Hey, good evening, guys. We are just at Highway 17 and Interstate 95. We're on the evacuation side of Interstate 95, and things are just really been pretty bad for the last couple of hours. Take a look. You can see just how heavy this rain is. Look at that street light. You can just see the absolute pelting of rain coming down here in Glen County as Hurricane Matthew continues to hit the coast. And you can see just how much these trees and bushes are blowing around. This wind is really significant, and every now and then we'll get a really big gust that'll sort of even move our live truck around as this storm continues. One of the things I want to mention, we took a little field trip down 17 to try to see how close we could get to one of the bridges that's closed. There is just debris all over the roadway. There's pine trees that are down. This really has had a significant impact, and that's part of the reason why people, emergency officials here in Glen County, don't want people on the road. They want you to stay at home at least until tomorrow morning when it's light outside. Now, they did say in the last couple of hours that one of the things they're going to do tomorrow morning, they're going to make an assessment. They're going to look at Brunswick. They're going to look at St. Simon's Island. They're going to make a determination around noon tomorrow if people should go back to their homes to check on the damage. But again, we're not going to know until noon tomorrow just how severe all the damage is on those areas that they shut down. But for now, we can say even inland, we're seeing significant damage from this storm. Let's send it back into you.
All right, Claire, thanks very much. Let's take a look now, a live look inside the Georgia Emergency Management Center. As you can see, they're closely watching the storm, looking for signs of damage. As they receive reports, they will be dispatching first responders to the trouble spots on the coast.
Well, as we mentioned earlier, 1,000 Georgia National Guardsmen have been activated to assist in response operations. Many of them sent to Savannah to provide support. Others awaiting orders after the storm blows through tonight.
Well, let's continue our live team coverage now with Fox 5's Doug Evans in Savannah. Doug?
Well, Russ and Sinead, the wind has really kicked up here in Savannah in just the last half hour. Of course, the rain, it's just been relentless for the last couple of hours as Hurricane Matthew makes its way up the Georgia coast, still about 70 miles from the city of Savannah at this hour. Let's take a look down famous Broad Street here in Savannah. You can see the winds and the driving rain. Of course, you also see the fact that this street, there's nobody on it. 25% of the population of Savannah stayed, 75% evacuated. The mayor, Eddie Deloge, saying tonight that if you've got trouble, if you've got an emergency, they won't be able to get to you. They have suspended emergency services here to the city of Savannah until the storm subsides sometime tomorrow. The big concern here in Savannah is the timing of Hurricane Matthew. Its strongest winds still off the coast of Georgia, expected to be at the mouth of the Savannah River at high tide. As David Chanley mentioned, we could have a tidal surge here of anywhere from 6 to 9 feet, pushing that wall of water up the Savannah River toward the city of Savannah. Now, I'm on Broad Street. Down below us to my right over there is famous River Street here in Savannah. It's closer to the waterfront. If we get that big, huge tidal surge, and some say it could be even as high as 11 feet, certainly Riverfront or River Street here in Savannah could be threatened by that potential flooding. We don't know. We'll just have to see. The worst for Savannah is yet to come. We expect that worst to hit us about 1 o'clock till about 8 o'clock in the morning when this slow-moving storm is finally out of here. But for right now, listen, the power is just barely on. It's flickering here in Savannah. We've got thousands of people that are sheltering outside the city, and yet in this population of over 200,000, a quarter of that amount decided to stay, decided to rough it out, and we're just going to have to see how that ends up for everyone here. We'll keep you updated from the city of Savannah throughout the newscast and certainly on the Edge tonight. That's the very latest from Savannah. I'm Doug Evans, Fox 5 News.
All right, we appreciate it, Doug. Well, Georgia Power is mobilizing nearly 5,000 workers to help restore power on the coast as fast as possible.
And meantime, in Florida, more than 1 million customers are without power tonight. Most of those customers in the Daytona Beach area. And the storm was so strong, it even caused outages in the central part of the state, including Orlando. Hurricane Matthew raked the Florida coast as a Category 3, washing away roads, flooding homes, and toppling trees and signs there.
Well, take a look at this video. This is from a Jacksonville resident. You can see the strong winds blowing through the trees, the waves even coming up into the streets, and that rain coming down hard. Jacksonville mayor issued an evacuation order yesterday. The National Weather Service has warned the city's residents that catastrophic damage is anticipated for coastal areas and areas along the St. Johns River.
I was born and raised in Jacksonville, so these guys are my family. You know, I work here, I went to school here, so I know, most of my friends and family. I consider them family. Most live here in Jacksonville, so we're just praying for you guys and just the recovery of the city, because looking at it now, I have no idea what it's going to look like tomorrow. It'll probably be unrecognizable.
Well, the city hasn't been hit by a major hurricane in over a century.
It's an amazing amount of water there. While most people are trying to get out of the path of Hurricane Matthew, many first responders are heading toward the trouble. 50 first responders from across metro Atlanta left Clayton County this afternoon. The caravan includes specially trained members of Georgia search and rescue teams from Atlanta, as well as Clayton, DeKalb, Gwinnett, Fulton, Cobb, and Douglas counties. And troopers from the Georgia State Patrol are in that convoy as well.
So these are firefighters, paramedics, EMTs. They have the same level of training that all firefighters in the state of Georgia are required to have. However, they also possess additional certifications in the area of hazardous materials, confined space, structural collapse, high angle rescue, and then swift water rescue.
Van is equipped with enough supplies to be self-sufficient for about 3 days during their disaster relief mission.
So let's take a look at some live pictures here. This is really a caravan of a different type. These are people trying to get out of Isle of Palms, South Carolina. They're trying to get out ahead of that storm. You can see where the rain coming down hard and people trying to make that quick escape. Well, the U.S. military is heading to Haiti now. They're going to help struggling country residents there in the wake of Hurricane Matthew. Hundreds of people have already been reported dead on the island. And today the Navy announced they're sending a transport dock ship, which is carrying 300 Marines, 1 landing craft, and 3 large helicopters. Now, officials say 170 servicemen and women and 9 helicopters are already there. According to naval authorities, 2 other ships also standing by.
Please be sure to stay with Fox 5 as we continue to track Hurricane Matthew into the early morning hours. We'll have more team coverage ahead in this newscast and on News Edge at 11. And of course, you can get information and alerts sent directly to your phone with our Fox 5 Storm Team app. It's available for free with your Android or Apple device.